24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh man, I've got a show today. Do you guys notice that my 30-second countdown's like a minute, 2 seconds, something like that? I got a different kind of show today. I went down a rabbit hole, and I typically start my rabbit holes with sovereign citizens. And I've got a source that probably everybody knows about. Well, at least everybody who's on this side of the screen knows about that I'm going to introduce you guys today. And what we're going to do, and I've got some videos too, but I've got a doctor's appointment here in an hour and 50 minutes, so hopefully I can knock this out pretty quickly. Oh, by the way, only reason I set up um, that timer is so that I can set up my chat. If you watch my last 5 videos, it's all about having issues with the chat. Anyway, it's still not set up yet, so I'm working on that right now. Hopefully, I'm trying a new time slot. I want to get in. Well, I mean, y'all probably working today, but I'm trying to get in before Big In without overlapping Big In and Colin, and I can't avoid Mike. He's just gonna go on whenever, and then Ursula later, Mike again probably, and then when Artie finishes moving, who knows where he's gonna go? So there'll be a spot for grammar school. We just gotta find it. I might try to bridge two of those streams, but maybe one of them will let me kind of hang out with them for a little bit. Anyway, I've got a different show. We're gonna talk about sovereign citizens. Hopefully I get some people in my chat because this is really gonna be kind of a two-party thing, but I'll set it up in a way where if everybody is still working right now, then watch it later. Drop some comments. I'll try to play this like it's one-sided. Let me hold on. I gotta filter some stuff. I wanted to talk about some other things. I was gonna ask you guys some questions. I want to do a political day, but I don't know how y'all feel about that. Basically, you have to assume a couple things. You're gonna have to assume that I'm gonna be one-sided. Now, I am objective. I read all the bills. I'm still working on this. This last one's like 900 pages, so it's a little much. I'm getting through it, and and I'm happy to have a two-sided conversation. And oh, there it is. Okay, now let me just move it. Two-sided objective conversation. Um, but I want your guys' feedback. I'll put a poll. I'll put a poll in the in my little section wherever you put the written stuff. I forgot what it's called. There's my chat. There it is. Okay, cool. So we'll go there. I want to do a political day, and well, I want to know how you guys feel about that. We'll talk more about that later. I'm also trying to recruit some people to do a SovSit 101 thing that I've been working on. Although the more I know, the more complicated it seems to get. So I want to make sure it's a 101, not a 201 or a 401. You know what I mean? Anyway, so power inherit the people. Basically, a channel ran by a sovereign citizen, although I think he's fairly neutral on the term, according to what I've watched. It's one of those channels that I'm kind of addicted to. I can never finish it, and I disagree with freaking everything. But it's entertaining, right? It gives another side of the. Excuse me. I'm still not too far away from that sinus surgery I had, so that's why I always sound congested. Anyway, Power Inherit the People is a channel that I follow. Sovereign citizens watching sovereign citizens, and they rile themselves up. They, it's exactly what you would think it would be. So I pulled an audio recording, and out of respect, this is not an attack on Power Inherit the People. It's just a friendly disagreement. I might use words like crayon and glue, Elmer's. I might use words like dumb and idiot. And I mean that in the most friendly way, but please, you know, if you find their channel, just be respectful. I mean, of the individuals, right? You can disagree with them. You can call what they say is stupid. My main disagreement with these guys is that I think they're going to cause harm to people through improper legal advice. Now, here's the disagreement. They're going to believe that they're not causing harm, that it's not improper, that the truth is on their side, which we all know based on our court system that every once in a while they get a case dismissed, right? But have they ever actually won a case based on the facts relative to the procedure in the case law that they argue? They don't, right? You're looking for a not guilty, is what you're looking for, or a case dismissed with prejudice. Well, you don't get that. Now, sometimes they get a police officer that doesn't show up, or a prosecutor that gets irritated and they drop the case. But do they have any merits to getting the case dismissed based on the case law or the arguments that they offer? No, never. Prove me wrong. I've watched and read everything on their channel, including the 40 videos on there or 100 videos that say case dismissed. Anyway, so this one's an audio recording. I mean, it's a video, but I'm going to cover the video with the chat because we're going to go through the chat too. Now, I crossed out everybody's name on purpose. I crossed out the moderators, the main guy's name. I think I covered. I mean, but if you watch his channel, you catch his name pretty quickly anyway. So this is going to be a different one. And then after this, if I have time, I've got some Judge Simpson. I know that Mike hosted it live, but I have a little add-on to it that you didn't see. And then I've got a little bit of video relative to Van Valiant's rivalry. Or it's really not his rivalry, it's the other guys, but it's pretty funny if I have time for it. So anyway, without further ado, let me get this queued up here. I don't even remember where. Hopefully I think it's the. So again, I'll start off by playing the video, but then I'm going to cover the video with the chat. You'll see what I mean. All right. Wait, hold on. What am I doing here? Oh, gotcha. Okay. And I've never actually tried this slideshow feature before, so hopefully it works. But basically, what happens? This guy goes to meet the chief of police, the Yakima police chief. I believe this is in the state of Washington. I think this guy lives in Florida, and I think he was visiting Washington. He might be from Texas. I don't know for sure. I don't remember. But if you visit my channel, Mr. Power and Hair, people just drop a comment and let us know. I'll tell you, I'm in Colorado. If that makes you feel better. But we would love to have a friendly disagreement one day. Anyway, all right, hitting play, and then I'm gonna pull up the chat.
Yeah, I'm here for Chief. I got me Cameron Wilson. All right, thank you.
Again, credit goes to Power and here at the people. I covered up his name in the chat. He just said it, so you know it anyway.
Real good. I'm doing good. How about yourself? Cameron, nice to meet you as well. Where y'all want me sitting now? Cool deal. Okay, so what I got going on is I'm gonna be serving. I got a couple of things I want to do today. First, I'm gonna serve notice of liability to you and the majority does. Okay. We'll have to serve notice of liability of you, any kind of notice as far as, we the people, the highest authority. So if we want any kind of agencies or corporations that work for cities, in that instance, we have to put you on notice.
So he's individually suing the police chief through his own court, Article 3, Article 1, or whatever they use. However he does it, he's basically suing the police chief.
Just like y'all have to put on us on notice, right? That's how it works. Notice an opportunity to carry that notice. So being as though I'm one of the people, highest authority, I have to put you on notice so that y'all don't violate me. And then if you violate me, then
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
okay. Do you want me to break it down a little better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's worth too, this guy Cameron seems like a really friendly guy. Based on the way they drive people toward a specific aspect of the law, I see a lot of Chili comparisons. He seems like just a really nice Chili. Well, much less. I mean, much calmer, much nicer. It's not Chili.
So I'm the highest authority until I hurt somebody, right? We the people. There's nobody above us, period. So as one of the people, and the government works for us, right? You serve us. I have to put you on notice because right now y'all operate at a presumption and assumption, right? That everybody is bland and the same. They operate the same because most people, that's just how they do. They just follow orders, do what they're told. They don't know anything about the rights.
I'll never get the presumption and assumptions thing. I'll just admit that right now. But to a degree, you kind of have to assume that everybody's the same, right? You can't create bias, which creates stereotyping, which creates isms and other things, right? You can't have favoritism, but you've got to assume that everybody is going to know and obey the law or accept the consequences. I think maybe that's the relative part of it.
So what I have to do is put you on notice so that if you don't put me in your system or notify you in your system when any of your officers that are under your authority violate me, you'll be responsible. Because I'm not going to put up with violations of my rights because I'm the creation of the Creator. And that's no disrespect to you.
I'm still not sure what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm still confused.
Okay. So this is the notice of liability that I'm serving you with, just like I've served everybody else in this great nation that I've had to deal with. Whether I travel through or frequent to, not a resident of this state, not a permanent resident, although I do frequent this state very often, okay? That's number one. So this will be served to you. I'll need y'all to make a copy and return it back to me because it's serving. The second aspect is, first off, we know within this state that these roads are open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel. The definition both on street, public road, highway, byway, any kind of road out here literally states not only within your policy on the municipal code, but also in the county, that it says it's open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel. Open as a matter of right cannot be distinguished or turned or transferred into a privilege whatsoever.
May I see this?
I know you may not.
Is this? Did you?
So here's where they're mixing up definitions, right? He's using the definition of roadways and using the definition of roadways that can be transferable to the usage of a road can be transferable to a privilege. But what he probably meant to do was get into the definition of driving, which they're going to call traveling, right? So the way he worded it was a little bit convoluted, but I think he meant to say you can't convert driving or traveling to be a privilege, aka driving, relative to driver's license, registration, insurance, all that. But you guys know. Where's my play button?
I did get a ticket.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. So what I'm having to do is I'm having
Oh
to
yeah, you got a ticket. Of course. That's where it all starts. Would you have gone there if you didn't get a ticket?
present my.
You're,
This has nothing to do with my ticket right now.
okay, but that does have to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Hold on. Because the state of Washington has established rules, and the city of Yakima has established rules for using the roadways. So we're not here, I'm not gonna discuss that part, that you have to deal with in the court system.
I'm not here to discuss.
Okay, well, you're telling, you're telling me, but you're giving me an explanation of the public roadways. Okay, and
So both on the, like I said, both in the municipal code, which is what y'all have to abide by. Then also,
but you also have to abide by.
I don't have to abide by anything.
Well, you should be able to utilize the city streets of Yakima. You have to abide by.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna break this down.
So you could just go speed wherever you want, just blast through schools, break whatever crime you want, go hurt some people, rob whatever you want. You don't have to abide by anybody.
Since we got
Okay, well, I'm just,
well, we got an hour meeting. We set an hour for this. Yours isn't.
I don't have a whole hour.
That's what she said for me.
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you for a whole hour.
Okay, at least he dropped, so that's what she said. I'll give him credit for that one.
What do you mean? Aren't you the chief?
I am the chief, but I'm gonna let you say what repeat.
My bad. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm here for chief. I got meeting.
Because the state of Washington has established rules, and the city of Yakima has established rules for using the roadways. So we're not here, I'm not gonna discuss that part, that you have to
Got a
deal
play
with.
button right next to. I got a play button for the video, and I got a play button for the slideshow, and yep, they're right next to each other. I gotta fix that. Let me show you the right one.
Court system.
I'm not here to discuss.
Okay, well, you're telling me, but you're giving me an explanation of the public roadways. Okay, and
So both on the, like I said, both in the municipal code, which is what y'all have to abide by. Then also,
but you also have to abide by.
I don't have to abide by anything.
Well, you should be able to utilize the city streets of Yakima. You have to abide by.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna break this down real quick, since we got
Okay,
an hour
well,
meeting.
I'm just,
Well, we got an hour meeting. We set an hour for this. Yours isn't.
I don't have a whole hour.
That's what she said for me.
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you for a whole hour.
What do you mean? Aren't you the chief?
I am the chief, but I'm gonna let.
Well, at least he said a meeting. Originally, when I listened to this, I didn't catch that part. I thought he just kind of got rushed a little bit. I am hoping and assuming that the chief did some research in here to figure out what this guy was about, what he was doing there, etc. But I guarantee he didn't do enough. This is definitely not going to last an hour. I'll just give you that heads up right here.
You say what you repeat, but when we're done talking, I'm not gonna just talk and let you talk for an hour, because.
Well, that's not the point. The point is to have a meaningful conversation of my rights, and you to go both to the Washington Constitution and the federal Constitution to uphold those. So I have a right to be heard and address any
But that's
grievances.
what I'm explaining to you about, if you have a question about the laws that apply to the roadway, and you don't like it, you
I
gotta.
don't need it. If I may finish, because now we're getting into a back and forth, I just need to get it now off first.
Okay, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Okay, so first off, I'm not gonna argue about the laws, okay? Because first off, like I said, your municipal and your county codes state strictly that the roads are open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel. You cannot go outside of that. The rule of lenity would apply.
True, yes, the public roads are open for travel. It doesn't mean we can't limit the method or means or mode of travel.
State statutes are applicable to those who have engaged in a contract with the state in any form or fashion. We know how this works. I want to let you know I'm an attorney. Okay, so I'm not here as like someone who does.
Wrong. The state, the government has the right to oversee the public, not just the people that contract with the government, right? We all know that when you sign your driver's license, you're signing for a few things, right? You're basically giving your consent for some things. I know this is one of their principal and chief arguments, but to be a citizen, it means you were born or naturalized, and then within the United States specifically. But then on top of that, you have the 10th Amendment that gives the states the right to regulate, to govern its own people, and those are defined by geographical borders.
Doesn't know my rights. I have federal court cases, several, okay? Court cases, federal court cases. So I'm not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm not going to debate about what I've already litigated with the Supreme Court and cases. So your comprehension.
You know how he says he has cases, but he didn't say he's won cases.
And understanding is not correct, and that could be a problem, because not only will you, but your officers will be liable, and that's why I'm giving you a notice of liability, because I'm not going to put up with my right being violated. Period. Now, when we say you're required to do something on these roads that are strictly stated since 2005 through the legislature, that every county within the state is open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel, and has clearly established that, including the Attorney General, such as Brandon Slavin, which I just had a conversation.
Okay, so we're going to get into a definition argument here, right? So yeah, absolutely. The roads are open for public travel. But didn't he just say public vehicle, right? When he's normally going to argue private conveyance, I'm pretty sure he just said public vehicle. Hang on.
Strictly stated since 2005 through the legislature that every county within the state is open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel, and has clearly established that, including Attorney General such as Brandon Slavin, which I just
public vehicular travel. Never mind.
Had a conversation with last week. There's no debate about it. So I'm not going to put up with you have to or you're required, because if I'm required, that makes me a slave, and I am not a slave. Okay, so that's number one. So this has nothing to do with my ticket, although I can mention it. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, Cameron, have you looked up the definition of a slave? I know you're a big fan of definitions, but you need to look that one up and then relay it back to your argument here.
Because I have a contract with your state, so there can be nothing that can be enforced or imposed upon me. That's how that works. Now, what I'm trying to let you know, though, straight up, is that this has to be filed with you for me to enforce it into civil litigation. And you have to, being a servant of me, accept it. And that's the bottom line.
But do you? You probably actually do, right? If you get served in person, you go through a legitimate court system. You probably have to do it this way. Now, I haven't finished law school. And to tell you the truth, I barely even started and then jumped right back out of it. But if this is a legitimate lawsuit, if this is a legitimate notice, then he probably does have to accept it if he's in person. I got a feeling it's not, though. But who knows? I haven't actually seen the document.
So I'm coming up here to serve you, let you know that I frequently travel in and out. I do have an address in which you can get in touch with me at. I don't live there. That's not my permanent residence. I'm not a resident of the state, though I do travel frequently here often. So with that being said, I need you to copy this, accept it, and give me a copy back, because I'm serving you. And that's just how.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been sued once. And on no planet did that process server require me to accept it, make a copy, and give one back.
Because I'm not going to have anybody.
By the way, I settled that lawsuit. It wasn't a big deal.
Threaten me again with arrest with no crime. We all know that it all depends on reasonable articulable suspicion and probable cause of crime being committed. Rodriguez versus United States states that they cannot extend the stop beyond a de minimis amount of time to issue the citation. First off, they need probable cause. There's a lot of things going on that everybody else don't know. And I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be here a lot. So I would rather work with you than not work with you, because I don't want problems. Everywhere else I've gone, including
basically, he's saying, I'm visiting your state, and I don't want any more tickets.
USP and the sheriff's office, they've been very respectful. No problem. I don't have any problems with any of the sheriff's chiefs that I found no side dues with. Right. It seems as though right off the bat, though, what I've had is, you're going to do what we take. I'm sorry. Administration of a free man is repugnant to his freedom. And there can never be nobody that can tell you otherwise. Because you're a creation of God, man. We all are. I got
Never be nobody. So he's saying there could be somebody. Remember, you're at grammar school.
a huge YouTube channel. Tell you the name right now. It's called Power Inherent in the People. It's huge. My whole mission, and I didn't want this mission. I promise you I did not want this mission. It's scary.
So the scary part is his channel is actually, it's pretty big. It's growing. It's I want to say he has something like 68,000 subscribers. So compared to my 55, and I love every 55 of you guys. You guys are just so wonderful, by the way. It's not a chilly number, but the scary part is it's growing. He's got, what did I say, 68,000, something like that. He's got a bunch of people who buy into this, and this is the reason why I'm putting the comments to this video on the screen, so you can see the buy-in from this kind of stuff. I mean, this is people egging each other on to not register their car, not get a driver's license. Jeez, hold on. Oh man, like I said, I'm not too out of sinus surgery, so I'm still at the end of that congestion phase. Anyway, you're talking people into a scenario where they could probably go to jail, and that's going to cause harm.
It's dangerous. I get threats all the time because I stand up for truth. Okay? And I don't like it, but I got God put this in my life in December, and I'm doing it, and I'm not blown up. My goal is to bridge the gap. In the past 3 years, 3,600 people in this country have died of traffic stops alone. That's 3,600 mothers and fathers, each individually, daughters, sons, whatever the case may be, off of traffic stops. And most people don't even know that they don't.
Which is more of a reason for us to regulate. Now, I get that there's some scenarios, right? There's some bad cops. There's some jumpy cops. There's some cops that might reach for a pew pew when you're reaching for your driver's license. But a lot of these traffic stops probably, I mean, we watch them all the time, right? This is what this whole channel is all about. The traffic stops that go bad typically start within the car. Not always, but easily 99 out of 100 times, they start with an action created by the driver or the passenger, which is more of a reason to at least confirm somebody's identity. It's more of a reason to have a driver's license, right? What if his reference was to traffic stops. Part of getting driver's license is to take a test, right? To show somebody you can actually drive a car without hitting everybody, without swerving into other cars. There's I don't know. I'm stumbling over my words today, but we can reduce risk wherever possible, and this is part of where we start.
New driver's license. They have no clue that in Black's Law Dictionary it says one employed. You have to be employed to use the roads. It's federal constitution, we all know this. But we've allowed the ignorance of our people as a nation to falter and fail within what God has established within us. And so, I guess my main point here today is to establish a relationship so that if your officers or any problems ever occur, that I can literally reach out and say, hey man, there's an issue here. We can resolve it peacefully. The second aspect is to work with y'all and in regards on the future aspect of.
So now he's saying, if I get pulled over, hey, I've got the chief of police on my cell phone. I'll just call him right now and tell you guys not to write me a ticket or to bring me to jail, because I'm probably doing something that most cops would probably bring me to jail for.
Just constitutional limitations, right? Because we know police power, the last three words of that amendment, what does it say? Within constitutional limitations. And it seems as though, not necessarily so much here in Washington, I have too much problem ever in Washington. One instance, and that's Sergeant gone. Okay, so I'm trying to keep it to where people are going to be able to keep their jobs and not violate rights, because when I come through, they're done for every time. There's already been two of them, one in Oregon and one in Washington. So I'm just trying to be respectful.
Now, he posts everything he does, so it's probably worth me going back to fact check that point. I've got a feeling he's stretching this a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know for sure on this one.
Because just like you would say, obey the law. But we all know that these statutes are not law. That's why we have Section 19, or Title 18, Section 242, which is the deprivation of rights, which means that under any statute which is covered.
Wrong. By definition, a statute is a law.
Law. It ain't real law. Code law. Real law is natural law in the Constitution, and that's the limitations. Unless when it's entered into a contract. I don't enter into contracts. I'm a free living man. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that forward to you and let you know that, so we don't have no issues further on with your officers trying to tell me what I'm going to do. I'm not a slave. Sorry. I don't commit crimes either. So.
Okay.
No, you commit a bunch of crimes. They're all over your channel.
Crimes are. Well, let me ask you this: what is the definition of crime by y'all?
You're not obeying the law.
Let's hear the answer, but I'll give you the actual definition of it.
That's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not going to debate that.
You should debate that.
No, I'm not.
Of course, he's not going to debate it. You got some guy bumming rushing you on some just random stuff. That's completely incorrect. Basic definition of a crime: an act that violates a law, either human or divine, and can include both actions and omissions. Violation of law, a crime, is fundamentally an act that breaks a law, whether it's specific statute or a principle of common law. Statute, I mentioned even statute in there. A public offense is outlined as crimes are generally considered offenses against public as opposed to private disputes between individuals, punishable by state. The key element of a crime is that it is subject to punishment by the government, typically through criminal proceedings. There are varying degrees of severity, and then moral and societal implications, blah, blah, blah. Well, basically, an act that violates the law, that's a crime.
Debate that we have a court system that sets forth laws. We have the U.S. Supreme Court, which deems laws to be constitutional or not.
What is a statute?
Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to get into a big constitutional debate.
Well, you took an oath to hold that.
I'm allowed to say your speech. And I'm not going to give you a copy of this back right now.
Well, you have to. Chat. I need you guys to read this and tell me something. So, somebody say something in the chat. I know there's at least one person there.
Except
I can take a copy. I'll have it reviewed. I haven't even looked at it. I'm not signing anything I haven't reviewed.
I haven't asked you to sign this. You're being served. That's how this works. You're being served. This isn't
I'm not going to make a copy without reading it. And you can hand me a copy.
Okay. Well.
And you will. Our officers are going to obey traffic laws and enforce traffic laws. And if they have contact with you, they're going to do what they can legally do in interactions with you.
Hey, yeah, I went a completely different direction with this one, but I had to do it.
Okay. So I'm just going to let you know right now, I don't engage in traffic. Traffic is transportation. And transportation is the transportation of property goods for compensation. See, the problem, hold on.
No,
the problem, I'm going to finish.
Oh, no. The audio has a serious echo? Oh, geez, that means I might have to redo this whole thing. Oh. Well, dang. Okay, I'm glad you said something. Let's try. I got an idea. I have an idea. Well, then I'm going to have to go back and add a note at the beginning of the video if I can fix this. Okay. I think I can fix this. I think I could do it quickly, too. I'm glad you said something. See, this is why I need a chat. It's going to be all built around Edie during the day and Otto at night. All right. Hold on. I've got this. Okay, so I'm 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Oh, man. Should I start? I don't want to start all the way at the beginning. I don't have time for it. All right. Let me get 11 minutes and 12 seconds.
You know what? You're right.
Hang on. So, Edie, what's going on is that I found a sovereign. So, there's a sovereign citizen channel, and it's supported by sovereign citizens. This guy, I don't know how to explain Mr. Power Inherent the People, but he went to the chief of police in Washington, and I forgot what city. Actually, I can tell you real quick. No, I can't. Yakima, maybe. He went to the chief of police in some city, and sorry, let's see where I'm at in this.
Compensation. Okay. See the problem? Hold on.
Okay, no.
Okay, I think I figured out how to stream this.
You can heal it.
All right, let me make sure. Okay, let's do this. Let's add. So anyway, he's a sovereign citizen. He's going there to basically sue them, and he's trying to make some sort of deal while he's in town. I think he's been pulled over a couple times. He's trying to make some deal with the officer that basically, if he gets pulled over or something happens again, that he won't get in trouble. But we know that that's not going to work out so well. And then he's trying to sue him, I guess, based on recent tickets. And I don't know if I went through it already, but he was basically saying he's an attorney. He's not a real life attorney. I think he's doing the whole attorney in fact thing. And then I've been putting the comments about this video on his channel. That's why everybody's name's crossed off. Let me find me real quick. But I think I can get this going so you can hear it. All right. Where's me? Where is me? Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm gonna switch this over and then hit play and then see if this works. It's probably gonna look the same. Turn it up a little bit.
Hand me a copy.
Okay. Well.
And you will. Our officers are going to obey traffic laws, and they're going to enforce traffic laws. And if they have a contact with you, they're going to do what they can legally do and interact.
Okay, after that very last part, is the audio better? Sweet. No. Oh, I gotta figure out how to edit that one later. Okay. All right, so we're about 11 minutes in. This is an 18-minute visit, but then we'll run through the chat here and once this is done.
Interactions with you.
Okay. So I'm just gonna let you know right now. I don't engage in traffic. Traffic is transportation, and transportation.
okay.
Excuse me. Traffic and transportation is the transportation of property goods for compensation.
Okay.
See the.
Okay, so that's wrong too. Transportation is. Yeah, whatever. I didn't actually look that one up, but I just know he's wrong. He mentioned the definition of traffic, though, which the definition of traffic is actually just vehicles moving on a road or a public highway, otherwise known as a stream of traffic. Alternate definition: the movement of vehicles, pedestrians, or other forms of transportation along a route or route, depending how you pronounce it, or the volume of customers at a business.
The problem. Hold on.
Okay, no,
The problem. I'm gonna finish if you don't mind. The problem is that you're already off to a bad start.
Okay, no,
You
I'm
stated
done
that-
having this conversation.
Okay, but you said
You've allowed
statute.
you're allowed to leave this paper here.
I'm not allowed. I'm going to.
You're going to leave.
Yeah.
I'm
going to leave this
You left
here.
it here. That's fine. And I'm not going to engage in a big constitutional conversation. If you got a traffic ticket, if you're going to use the
We're
roadways
not
in
talking
the
about
city,
traffic.
I'm explaining to you something. You're cutting me off. You wanted to talk? Are you going to let me talk?
Most definitely, but we need to.
No,
the problem is
not
you're
letting-
making
if you're not,
assumptions.
no, I'm done having the conversation if you're not going to allow me to talk.
I am. You have been, but the thing is.
Okay.
I don't want to
You
have an
can-
argument now.
You are cutting me off, and I'm done listening to your conversation. Every time I start to talk, you cut me off. Correct?
Well, no.
I'm just explaining to
time.
you that if you're going to be motoring using the roadways in our city, you're going to be subject to the laws of the state of Washington and the city of Yakima.
Okay. And
And my officers are going to enforce those as constitutionally allowable. And so that,
Great.
so,
Good. That's a good answer. That was perfect. That's constitutionally allowable, right?
which,
But the
wait, okay. We're not gonna have a big debate over the Constitution. We're not gonna have a debate over your traffic ticket. If you have encounters with our officers, they're going to enforce the traffic laws.
Okay. I just want to make this clear. I feel as though you're projecting like authority over me when you have none.
I'm not, I'm just
Okay,
getting,
well, you're-
I'm getting tired of getting cut off when I try to say something.
Okay. You work for me just as much as you work for the rest of this public here. Okay. You have a duty. That duty is to uphold first off.
It's a little bit quiet. I think he's got his phone or his recording device in his pocket. But I hate it every time somebody says you work for me, right? Especially when a sovereign citizen says it because you know they're probably not paying taxes. Well, I'm guessing at least half of them don't pay taxes. But it's always condescending when they say that.
Everybody's single rights. If you are failing in comprehension of those rights, I don't know what to do but rebut those. You said motoring. I don't motor, I travel. That's law in Washington.
Okay, so he said motoring, and then the Mr. Cameron says I don't motor, I travel. But if you look up the definition of motoring, it says traveling by car or other motorized vehicle, and then comma, essentially driving.
Not only through Attorney General opinions, but also through the Supreme Court, okay? Also, secondly, you said that if I'm going to use these roads, are these roads owned by the public?
There are public roadways.
Okay, so just like your municipal code states, under the definition of street and or public road, it says every highway, byway, road, alleyway, open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel. It does not say transportation. It does not say traffic. It is very specific and clear. The legislation wrote that so nobody could go outside of it. You keep trying to put me into this other realm of commercial transportation and traffic. Traffic has a very specific definition. It's in correlation with transportation. You have to be transporting property, goods, or people for profit. I don't use those roads in this way. I have a right to locomotion just as much as I have a right to travel. The presumption is that I operate like everybody else. I'm rebutting that presumption and putting you on notice that I never do. So again, if you're stating that these officers will do what they want to do because of their ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if officers in the process of the law harm anybody in the process of the law, they must respond in damages. That's, again, another straight up case law. It's not shall, it's not can, it's must. And now that I'm having this conversation with you, and they do, not only will they be responsible, but the city of Yakima will be responsible, and you will be personally responsible. And that's the whole point of this notice, is that I'm not going to put up with somebody violating my rights. I am number one, just as much as you are number one when you are not in that uniform. Right now you're a servant, right now you're a servant. Other than that, I guarantee you don't commit crimes, right? Just can't nobody come up to you and tell you what to do, period. I'm sure you don't commit crimes. And by definition, crime in law, in legalese, in that court system is not laws. Crime has a very specific definition: bringing harm to another. That's what a crime is.
No, a crime is an act that violates the law, and it does include actions and omissions, and it has in multiple levels, degrees, and ranges in severity.
A crime is not, we all know People versus Battle says traffic infractions are not crimes, quote unquote. It's very specific. So when we get to, I'm an intellectual. This isn't going to happen. I know several chiefs.
So that's the kind of the main point, right? At minimum, they don't pay registration license fees that go to pay for the roads they travel. Now, if you look up what your registration fees go to or your license fees go to, and I'm sure it ranges greatly depending on the municipality, but somewhere between 20 to 80% of the income from those fees goes straight toward roads, right? Goes straight to making roads, fixing roads. I don't know if you're in a pothole friendly state. I'm in Colorado where we have this thing called freeze thaw. So we have freaking potholes everywhere. And if you guys all move to an area where you believe that you don't have to pay registration, you don't have to pay licenses, that's fine with me as long as you all live together. You can drive on your pothole roads because none of you guys are going to fix them. None of you guys are going to pay to fix them. None of you guys are going to want to drive anymore. Then you're all going to end up leaving there saying, hey, we want back on your roads. We'll pay your driver's license and registration fees. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You're going to leave and try to make the same argument over again and then have us come back there and fix your freaking potholes. But yeah, that's the point, right? So the other thing too is if you guys all live in the same community, let's say you don't honor traffic laws. Speeding's okay. Going through stop signs, stoplights is okay. Are you going to let your kids play outside? Let's say all of you guys with the same beliefs live in the same community. Are you going to let your kids play outside? Are you going to ride your bicycle anywhere? Are you going to you're probably going to put some extra locks on your door. You're probably going to make a lot of life changes, right? And then you're going to start thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe they kind of had it right? Because, when they said that a crime doesn't necessarily require a victim, maybe this is what they meant. I don't know. They're just so far off. But I'm happy to let them try. Like, go figure it out. But just go do it together. Heck, we'll even give you a spot of your choosing, right? You can go to Pacific Coast, Atlantic Coast, the Western Mountains, right? Wherever you guys want. Just put you all together. You don't pay licenses and registration. You be as free as you want. And let's see how good at regulating yourselves you will be. Sorry, that was a rant.
Chiefs, I'm very well connected, man. I'm just telling you right now. So you're not going to try and... You've been a little bit more... I'm going to stand up on it than others. Others know this. Other chiefs have confirmed it. It's all on my YouTube channel, man. So the Attorney General, all of them.
I just want to confirm you're not recording our conversation. Are you confirm? You do not have authority to record our conversation.
Uh-oh.
First off...
Are you recording our conversation?
First off...
Are you recording our conversation?
May I answer? Or are you going to keep asking me over and over? First off,
See, you're getting a little nervous here because in Washington, where you are right now, Washington is a two-party consent state, meaning audio recording of a private conversation requires the consent of all parties involved. This applies to both in-person conversations and phone calls. Recording without consent can lead to criminal charges and civil liability.
I'm just going to let you know right now you're a public servant, okay?
Are you recording our conversation? Yes or no? If you were
I
recording, you were
decline-
going to be asked to leave.
I decline to answer.
Okay, then you're asked to leave
Why?
because I'm not allowing you to record our conversation.
Who said I was?
I'm asking you, and you're refusing to answer. So
That's
I'm
right.
not going to consider continue the conversation.
So if I'm refusing to answer, you can't presume one or the other. You just have to say, I don't know. And that's how that works. And if I was recording the conversation, what I would ask is, why would you be hesitant to not
Because
have
it's
the
unlawful in the state of Washington without two-party consent. So
Right.
it's time to go.
Well, let's say this.
It's time to go.
Okay.
Cameron, come on, I'll walk you out, buddy.
All right, but I will tell you this: you're a public servant, and you can't deny it.
Okay. You want to
Well, y'all need to make a copy of it. You're being served.
Fuck you out here.
So y'all gonna make a copy?
We are not. Come on. You can either leave it or take it with you.
Well, it has to have a copy because it's been notarized.
Okay, you can leave it or take it with you. If you want to make a copy on your own, drop it off at the front counter. They'll accept it.
Okay, so y'all are accepting it now?
You can leave it.
I'm asking you, are you accepting my notice of liability?
We got to get going. So you can leave
Are
it
you
or
accepting my
take
notice
it.
of liability?
Like I said.
Chief, are you
You
accepting
can
my
leave
notice of
it or
liability?
take it.
Okay,
Just
are you
like it's
accepting
done.
my notice of liability? I've left it
I'm
here.
done having the conversation.
Okay, good job. It seems as though this conversation kind of went a little bit sideways, don't you think? And all.
Well, yeah, because you literally broke the law right in front of him. I mean, he could be arresting you right now, according to Washington law. And you're demanding stuff that I mean, everything about what you're asking for is completely one-sided, baseless. Oh, let's see, what other words do I have here?
All I really meant to do was respect my. Okay. Well, just so you know, you don't get privacy rights when you're a public servant. You can be recorded at any time. You actually should invite that, if I'm not mistaken. Wouldn't you invite that? Recordings? This is great. Good job. It was recorded.
Okay.
Notice of liability has been filed. If there's any violations, you will be sued, both in your personal capacity and individual.
Okay, so I played that. I mean, technically it is a video, but there's nothing to actually see, right? So Cameron goes to the police chief. He's basically saying that if I get pulled over while I'm in Washington, which I will get pulled over because I don't have registration, I don't have tags on the back of my car. So there's the automatic, there's the automatic bullseye right there. You're gonna get pulled over. He's basically asking the chief, if I get in trouble, can I call you? And the chief's like, no, no, dude. Who do you think you are? And then he gets into definitions, right? And then the only book they ever use is Black's Law. But if you've ever seen a legal library, I guarantee you'll see more than just that one book, right? They also use other dictionaries. Merriam-Webster, that's a common one. Look at the definition of travel or traffic or streets or crime or motoring or whatever, right? Just go look at Merriam-Webster's definition. Heck, look at Google's definition. You know, any definition of anything can be argued in court. It's just a matter of who can litigate it, or argue it, I should say. Who could argue it better? Anyway, so yeah, that's power inherent to people. So I want to go through the chat real quick now. For me, and I'm assuming it's the same for you, it's kind of small, so I'll try to read it out loud. Oh man, almost out of the post op. So, whatever. Okay, let's see. So this guy's got a big following. Let me see if I can find. Okay, this is the first slide. So if you go to his channel and you see this video again, if you are joining partway, and I'm probably gonna go back and put a message to say to join partway because apparently I had audio issues. Um, don't go to his channel. Don't be angry. Don't be aggressive. Just like I said, he seems like a friendly guy. We just have a very, very different point of view. And I disagree with him on everything. And I disagree with almost everybody in this chat. Now, this one's a little surprising to me because almost 100% of these chats are on his side. Almost. It's funny. I've caught some of my fellow YouTube people bumping bumping around this guy's comments before too. So it's funny when you see some names you recognize. But look at this guy again. He's got 68,000 followers, and they love his stuff. We're sitting there thinking that everything he just said and did is ridiculous. It's dangerous. It's incorrect. But there you get comments like "effing brilliant," and then "law." It was recorded best line. Okay, so law. It was recorded best. He's saying it was the best line, but you said that when the chief was basically closing the door, right? You were already kicked out. You probably barely snuck it in. Um, Now there probably is a paradox, right? So even though that Washington does require two-party consent, it might be different with a public official or in that capacity. So I'm assuming that's one of many reasons why he didn't arrest him. I'm sure the whole thing, the chief was probably looking at it like a First Amendment audit setup scenario. So it's probably good for the chief to use discretion in that scenario just to cut off the conversation and not to arrest Cameron. What else do we have? This is why you recorded it. Otherwise, he would have denied you ever attempted to file it. Well, Cameron, let's look at this lawsuit. Who are you attempting to file it with? And how are you attempting to follow through with it? This guy, we the people need to put a stop to this tyranny. We need to be savages and take our country back. Well, here's the problem with that. First of all, I guarantee you're the substantial minority here. Well, B, you're gonna run into some hypocrisy here. And what I mean by that is you'll begin to understand what jurisdiction means as it relates to geographical borders. Now, most of the wars that the United States have been in have been overseas. Most of the recent history of wars have been overseas to support other countries or to support or in favor of different interests the United States have. But most original wars are based on territory, right? So when the U.S. was founded, we were basically seeking independence to have our own country and the right to govern our own people. And our own people were defined by the area of land that we fought that war over, eventually to establish geographical boundaries, which we believe that we have the jurisdiction over to govern our own people. Eventually, that expanded quite a great deal, right? States, counties, cities, etc. So if you're talking about we need to be savages and take our country back, do you think anybody's going to follow your jurisdiction? And how are you going to define boundaries? And then is that man on the land thing going to apply anymore, right? Because you'll say on the land, not in the land. But then you'll understand what in means. Oh man, I'm congested today. Okay, excellent. Going to watch this several times. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. Uh, this man, this man is a real man. I've been in America 30 years. Hearing a real man speaking. Sorry, it's small writing for me. Hearing a real man speaking his and everyone's truth makes my day. Well, it's definitely not everyone's truth. Um, and if it's your truth, I'm guessing you've had some civil infractions relative to traffic, driving, traveling, whatever citations. Uh, oh yeah, this guy's got his own book. That's why the big arrows there. Boss level. This was good, but exactly what I would expect from a tax dependent servant who doesn't respect their position. Well, he is tax dependent, right? That's where they get paid. If you're not paying his taxes, you probably shouldn't call him a servant, though. Or your taxes. Way to go. Thank you so much for all you do. I cannot express my level of gratitude. He did not like you stating you were the highest authority because it threatened his. I don't think he really cared. I think he was just more irritated that you were there, just yabbering. You killed it. This is good evidence and comprehension that you rebut all the presumption in this country, period. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's got a book. A freaking book. I wonder if like Colin and Biggin and all them have the same like 5-10 second gap. Um Let's go to the next one. Okay, you can't debate stupid people. The cop even admitted it. Well, who's stupid in this one? I mean, I'll give it to you this. It takes some cojones to go up to the police chief and basically say, "Hey, I don't agree with your laws, and I'm probably gonna break them, but please don't arrest me. And if your officers try to arrest me, I really want to be able to call you, man, because I don't want to be arrested." True fact: for every cop, judge, and DA, the public help unalive thousands of people's lives never get ruined, so they shouldn't be qualified stupidity anymore. Okay, this is this is grammar school, and it. Okay, here's where I'm going to go with this. I actually don't agree with qualified immunity. I see. Well, I'm torn. I'm torn on qualified immunity. Um, but here's the thing. Let's say that you're in trouble, and you need some help. And most people, from what I understand, from what I've seen personally, are scared to help in some dangerous scenarios. The police will show up, the ambulance will show up, the fire department will show up, and you get access to that resource just by living here, just by visiting here. You dial those three numbers, and they'll show up regardless how you feel about them. Free at last, free at last. Think of God Almighty, free at last. Okay, whatever. You will never win trying to educate this. You will never win trying to educate the intentionally ignorant. Well, it goes both ways. I mean, if you're gonna paraphrase the law, you can make it say whatever you want. So gosh darn powerful, bro. This is one important step people will never engage in. Preemptively protect themselves from future false charges. Well, I mean, sure, I'll give you credit for that one. That's exactly what you're trying to do. The cop threatened you in a rounded way and ignored you straight up. We recommend a good dash cam or meta glasses when dealing with them. Uh, I agree. He did ignore you. I do recommend a good dash cam, or I think it says meta. I don't know. I've always had good eyesight. It's getting worse. Yeah, totally agree. They're entertaining though, Edie. Very entertaining, which just it makes it so much fun sometimes. Though I think I have one in my in-laws, and I do get more frustrated arguing with her than not saying anything at all. So in that case, they're not that entertaining. Peace officers are taught this. Law enforcement, revenue enforcement officers, brown shirts, tyrants are not taught this. Everyone needs to go sheriffs only, not deputies, and teach them this. Most sheriffs aren't taught this. Maybe I can email some laws, not statutes. What? Oh, I'm sure it's a distance thing here, but what are you trying to say here? Hold on, let me make it bigger. I can't. I don't know what you're trying to say here, dude. Peace officers are taught. Okay, I'm gonna do the quotes because he put quote taught this. Law enforcement, revenue enforcement officers, brown shirts, tyrants are not taught this. Everyone needs to go to their sheriffs only, not deputies, and teach them this. Most sheriffs aren't taught this. Maybe I can email you some laws. Now it's okay. I get what he's finally saying. He's basically saying there's good cops, there's bad cops. Some understand what you guys are trying to do as sovereign citizens. I know you don't like the term sovereign citizen, but again, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, you guys are ducks. So I'm just gonna call you ducks. And then you're also assuming that the sheriff's on your side. He's not. Uh, he's not. He's just not, right? So good luck with that. Next time you get pulled over, if you happen to get pulled over by a sheriff, um, see if they go along with what you're trying to sell them, because it's gonna be the same as you're used to. By the way, very poorly written comment. Excellent, fantastic show. 5 stars. Boss Hog, get some. Thanks, buddy, for standing up for our rights. My favorite video so far. Hopefully, I didn't destroy that record. He didn't destroy that record. Thanks for the DL. Cheers, friend. Okay, what does this one say? Let's see. Slide number 4. It says, here's the problem. Oh man, I gotta go soon. I guess I only have time for this one. Yeah, and the sheriff's not gonna show up to us. I mean, the sheriff might show up to a stop if you're like in a small town, but um, definitely not in most places. Oh no, I just covered my chat again. I was like, I gotta read that bottom one. Here the problem as seen by millions municipal police departments or revenue generating organizations for each municipality. They do generate revenue, true. They have no duty to actually protect people, but they do have an oath, though. But they are generating revenue under the guise of public safety. They have a computer full of addresses of criminals with warrants, and yet they sit on the side of the road and generate revenue in the hopes of catching one of the criminals to justify the money generating profit process. The law enforcement or public safety was actually, or if law enforcement or public safety was actually the primary concern, they would go to their house and arrest the criminals. And when there were no more names in the computer, fall back on traffic monitoring. You know, I actually kind of, oh, I forgot to cross out this dude's name, but however, it's probably a good thing because I actually kind of agree with them to an extent here. Now, the problem is if you watch courts like we do, it seems like in every municipality, I mean, you've got at least like 10 warrants a day. On top of the people that are actively breaking the law, on top of, I mean, I've never driven anywhere ever on any road at any time of the day where not at least one person's breaking a traffic law, or code, statute, whatever. But if we do it your way, Walkamando, then we'd have a lot of cops. And are you going to pay a little extra in your taxes to get those cops? Because to do it the way that you want to do it, we would need a lot of people, a lot of people. And if we chased every single bench warrant out there, then while we are showing up to the front doors of somebody's house and to try to talk them to stand outside so they can go back to jail for their uh, their bench warrant issue, then it's going to be a little more difficult to go to where they need to. Part of the reason why they drive around and enforce traffic citations and codes and whatnot, as opposed to chasing warrants, is to keep them actively on the road. And then they get divided geographically so that if something happens, there's a hope. Yeah, exactly. There's a hope that they will have somebody nearby. And that's part of the reason why they do that. Anyway, hold on. Let me put that one back up. Yeah, yeah, and plus, there's differing degrees of severity, etc. Um, okay, so I mean, most of this is pretty rah-rah, right? So from what I've needed, demand the prosecutor to come down and copy the notice. Okay, so that would have made more sense, right? From what I've heard, you needed to demand. Whoa, sorry, my mic did something weird. From what I've heard, you needed to demand the prosecutor to come down and copy the notice. That would have made more sense, right? Go to the officer's legal department. They have one. It's called the prosecutor. It's called the city, county, whatever prosecutor, and have them deal with it. Do do do. I'll send this auditing, blah blah blah. You're a beast, well articulated. That's one thing I can do well. I have to work on my enunciation. It doesn't help that I'm super congested. Uh, what they did, removing you like that, was a breach of peace, a breach of trust. As a result, those breaches, constructive trust has been. Crap, I can barely read again. Has been caused to have arisen by operation of equity, and violations role in that must trust is as trustee, and his duty to you as the beneficiary, which is inescapable in equity, is to provide a remedy. This is actionable. Okay. 1537. He already told you he wasn't willing to listen. Right. He already told you he wasn't willing to listen. So anything you said after said he didn't want to listen is kind of counterproductive, right? You are talking to yourself at this point, which is bizarre, seeing how you are explaining the fact that he is using his own language to enforce different words, like calling you Mark after he called you the wrong name. Give me a second here. Yeah, I bet you'll never see Colin or Biggin use some Afrin on on their channel. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna like the next one, if I remember. Oh no, I don't. Stupid. More stupid. The terms legal and lawful refer to two different things. Legal has to do with corporation. Lawful has to do with constitution. The Supreme Court ruled numerous times on our rights to travel. It's not a privilege. Wrong. Oh, right. Actually, you're right. Hold on. The Supreme Court has ruled numerous times on our right to travel is not a privilege, as they'd have us believe. So the Supreme Court has ruled that you do have the right to travel, and traveling is not a privilege. You are correct. But they've also ruled that the state has its right to regulate the mode of travel, aka driving. They've been indoctrinated for decades in their academies, and most of them refuse to read the laws they've sworn an oath to uphold. Sorry, that one's cut off. Actually, a lot of these are cut off, so I'm just kind of assuming the cut off words. Chief, you work for us. You're a public servant. Period. Full stop. Yeah, hey, I'm working on that enunciation thing, but it's just fun. And there's just so much stupid in this. um, let's see. This shows a degree of ignorance and brainwashing in law enforcement. Okay, it probably would have been better if I read these as as I was playing the video. I'll figure this YouTube thing out one day. Props on the courage it takes to roll up like this. Yeah, so I guess. Show up and throw up despite the good points of the communication. This is word vomit, and Dudley Do Right was absolutely not listening. And wait, show up. I don't know if this is for him or against him. I think this guy might be on our side. Hold on. Props on the courage. Hey, so so Edie, I'm gonna try out a different platform later. It doesn't help that I'm using the free version of OBS, but new channel and all. I gotta prove to my wife that it's a venture worth pursuing. But I wonder. The thing is I don't know. Is it different than like Collins and Artie's and Mike's? Because they get so much more volume that I can't tell if they get a delay or not. I've been watching it, but who knows? It's definitely different when it's one on one for sure. Okay, so I can't tell if this guy's on our side or my side, or their side. It says props on the courage it takes to roll up like this, but this is a perfect case of show up and throw up. Despite all the good points of communication, this is word vomit, and Dudley Do Right was absolutely not listening and had no chance to listen. I think he's basically being objective here. I think he's saying, "Hey, good job for showing up and trying this out, but you said a bunch of stuff that the guy wasn't listening to anyway." And he didn't really have a chance to listen. He didn't seem to like the cop either. So I guess it's an objective comment. We don't see many of those in YouTube. Amazing job for serving notice of liability to the chief. I, for one, know the chief will not be able to not abide to the notice and will continue with business as usual to violate the rights. As a man, I, blah, 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 will notice, will be taken serious. But when has the oath breaker ever learned for its mistakes? Okay, a lot of grammar issues there. Public servant, you have been served by the real chief. No, you're not the real chief. Get it right or move on. You tyrant. Really, dude? I don't even think you were trying to be. I think it's just poor spelling. I have a lot of respect for you, camera. Great job keeping it real. You've been served, Yakima. Oh, wait, I think the next one is the one I like. No, never mind. There's at least one good comment in here. I am a perpetual traveler and do not reside anywhere temporarily or permanently. The sheriff needs to go ASAP. They were talking to the chief, not the sheriff. Good job, good job. Thank you for the great work. Cam, once again, this is fire. Blah 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 blah. Cameron, this is what a mighty good man. You can't do that. Okay, I'm guessing it's a she. Um, it's the same delay for the pop-up chat. It comes in the live chat immediately, just not. Oh, weird. Okay, I think I can fix that one too. Interesting. Huh, okay. All right, so do you see this comment that says, Cameron, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man? You can't do that to Salt and Pepper. That is immoral. Let's see. Their ignorance is startling. I guarantee that despite having sworn the sacred oath, blah, 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 get him, you've been served. Okay, it's just more of the same stuff. I like Salt and Pepper. I actually met them once. I met them once when I worked for a car rental company, like almost 20 years ago, and they were kind of cool. And then I saw them play a show with New Kids on the Block like 6 years ago, and that actually was a pretty sweet show too. I took my wife there. She's 9 years younger than me. She was by far the youngest person in there. It was pretty hilarious. Okay. What a man. Okay. Anyways, I can't sing. It's actually illegal for them to deny paperwork that is to be filed under law. Well, is it going to be filed under law? Like, how is it going to be filed? Damn sure punishable under law. Them being enforcers of the law, you should know this. A document that is notarized is considered a living document. It's living now, huh? It's a living. It's alive, and shall be treated as accepted as such. So not do to not do so is punishable under criminal law. Have a huge lawsuit, and I'm sure they don't even know why, but I'm damn sure they know you're more than capable of presenting yourself. Whatever. Symbols, love, well handled, blah blah blah. You have a good response with the police chiefs, but I think you should do to with city council board manager. Okay, whatever. So go to the city council board member. Sounds like you want to ask for a writ of prohibition. There's a way to do this. You will be heard, but it needs to be expressed according to the rules of law, bruh. Digging, rock solid, fire. Man, chats can be funny. If I take, by the way, if I take this guy's chat on any one of his videos, they're just like this. It didn't say they would. Just gotta make a copy. Right. I think they said they were gonna take it. Well, he said just leave it there, and then he also said take it to the clerk and or the secretary. I don't remember. And then I think the other officer said he would take it. But yeah, they don't have to make him a copy. You know, I've been sued one time, small lawsuit, my fault. Settle easily. I guarantee the process servers didn't tell me to make a copy. Bravo, straight fire, bravo. I have no contracts with Oregon, but they did the same thing to me. Help me, please. It's because you're probably breaking the law just like everybody else on this channel. Exactly. The roads are owned by the people. Well, if you're people, our blood, sweat, and tears paid for them roads, and regular people like you and I have paved and maintained the roads, but government officials was like out there helping or cop their help. Sorry, it's, this one's hard to read for some reason. It's like really tiny words. I wonder if okay, cop out there helping to make them, and just our taxes paid for them. Well, you don't pay taxes, do you? Isn't that the point? Well, and you know what? Your taxes do pay for some of the roads, but a small fraction compared to what your registration license. Basically, anything that goes through the DMV has a substantial percentage toward paying for and maintaining the roads. I'm just a few seconds into this video and I'm smelling crazy. Yes, that's the best comment we've heard so far. I'm just a few seconds in this video and I'm smelling crazy. Yes, it smells like crazy. It looks like crazy. It sounds like crazy. Ex chief. Okay, the next one is a good one too. Okay, so there's a couple positive comments here. The smelling crazy one, and then we have totally nuts, mentally ill, and I do not believe he is an attorney. So there was a part in the video where the guy said he's an attorney. On some of his other videos, he references that he's an attorney. In fact, he's clearly not an attorney. Was this a while back? Or did you do it recently? Goes to show all cops are bad indeed. Indeed bad. This is my hometown. Well, some cops are bad. Some cops are bad. Some cops are really bad. And those cops make other cops look really bad. But see, funny that he properly used I and gotten, but them roads question mark. Yeah, Edie, one time I'm gonna play one of his videos one day, and A lot of these names have faces. The guy who runs this channel lets some of these people log in while he's streaming, and um, grammar's an issue to say the least. Let's see. Goes to show. Okay, not all cops are bad. Some of the bad ones make all the good ones look bad, but you know, people are people. There's bad people. There's good people. I feel like 90% of us fit right in the middle. What was that? I think there's like a movie or something that says 5% of us are truly evil, 5% of us are truly good. Everybody else fits somewhere in the middle. You are a beast. Okay, I think we're okay. I mean, that's the comments. So if you're wondering where people get this stuff, it's um what am I doing? Oh, there it is. Okay. If you wonder where people get this, it's channels like this. Oh man, I had a really good case, and I know that Mike already did it today, but I have some add-ons to it that Mike doesn't have. I was hoping I was gonna have time. I thought I was gonna spend like 20 minutes on that video. Now knowing that I have sound issues at the beginning of it, I might redo this whole thing, but I'll still keep this one because Edie got to hang out with me. Um, double up. You know what? Instead of doing another one of these, I'm just gonna do another Power Inherent the People video. Except for I will put the comments with with the video and my commentary. Oh, because she said she had thought less people. You know, that was probably a voir dire question, and it's interesting that that was a voir dire question because I'm guessing the defendant in that case probably had poor or bad grammar. I wonder how that came up. Maybe it came up because she was an English teacher. Um, that's interesting. If I put myself in the same scenario, because I don't look like much, right? I understand that I've got a congested stoner voice. It was a voir dire question. Okay. I've got the congested stoner voice, but, I have a lot more education than people probably realize. I keep starting and stopping law school, which is the main reason I got into YouTube. I was like, well, I got to go finish law school. Uh, I got a brother who's a top five top five law school lawyer. I think he went to University of Chicago, and then I've got like a mountain of cousins that went to Stanford, and then a brother with the master's in print. Oh man, so we're all competing with each other at educational level. So I don't know much, but I'm sneaky, clever. I read a lot. I don't know where I was going with that. All right. Well, I got a bunch of content. I was kind of hoping to. I was definitely trying to get in before Big In today. Oh, you know what? I just realized my doctor's appointment's not for another hour. I got time. All right. So I did a video. Okay. Okay. I did a video when I first started this channel. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, that makes a little more sense. But either way, that basically means that the defense attorney was probably um aware that the defendant was either going to testify or react in some sort of way, but or maybe there's a video. Although again, I'm circling back to the fact that they knew she was a teacher, which I've never made it onto a jury. I think the last time I went to jury duty, it was a murder case, and I made it. It was at the time I was living in Denver, and Denver's a fairly large city, so I think they called. I think it was something like 90 people for the pool of jurors, and they just cut them out. They start off with a questionnaire, and then they just kind of start getting rid of people pretty quickly. And it's funny because I was sitting behind the defendant. I was sitting in a position where I can see the prosecutor and the defense attorney's computer, and I totally saw that the defense attorney was actively like looking up people on Facebook and social media, um, which I probably would do too, right? I mean, if I had time, they were doing it pretty quickly, but I thought that was interesting. Um, Let me check something. I got some videos. Display. Okay. So a while back I did a video and it was called something something part 1. Let me see. Something something part 1. And by a while back I mean like 2 weeks ago cuz that's about how old this channel is. Uh, and I don't even remember what these videos are like, but I still know I need to do part 1, part 2. Where is it? Okay, so it was on. So it's 2 weeks ago. Part 1 of triple header starts with soft set repeat offender. I did a stream on this guy named Marcus, and um, now I have some more Marcus. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, I'm double clicking it. That's why. Just was dismissed last month for duty because yeah, my wife works at an insurance company, and she had a very similar scenario happen. Okay. I got to knock out a couple cache files, some videos that were in my queue to do part 2. Since I started with sovereign citizens, I'm going to stay with sovereign citizens. Let me get rid of some stuff just to make sure I'm not. Oh. So I did. So it's funny. Van Balian. If you follow the Van Balian channel, he's got this kind of rivalry with the guy named Marcus. This guy likes posting videos about himself getting pulled over and arguing with the cops. Very similar to the guy that we just watched. So I found a few more Marcus videos. So if you go back, the title of the first video is Part 1 of Triple Header, starts with Savset, repeat offender. Here is the said repeat offender. Let me make sure. Where did it go? Let me move this over. Okay. I can't make it bigger for some reason. Let me. Ooh. This is super I can either make it full screen or like really tiny. I'm just gonna. Oh, you know what? His video doesn't even take up the full screen. All right, let me see if I just hit transition if it plays. No. Okay, here we go.
You have your license, registration, proof, insurance?
Yeah, but what crime?
Let me move me real quick. Yeah, he's not wearing a shirt. I don't. I think all three of these he's not wearing a shirt. These are pretty short though.
You were watching videos while you were
I wasn't
driving.
watching any videos. I was
Okay, you had videos playing on your phone.
just playing music.
Okay, that's fine. License registration.
I'm not gonna lie. I watch Biggin a lot when I'm driving.
For what reason?
I already answered that question, sir. License
You did.
registration.
You did. I mean, constitutionally, you didn't.
Okay. I'll take your driver's license there.
I mean, I'm not. I was just with my buddy, and he had my wallet. Can I use my phone real quick?
Just give me your driver's license.
Oh, no, my license.
You're only
Okay.
17,
Oh, okay. I apologize. So this under threat duress and coercion.
What's that?
Under threat, duress, and coercion.
What's that?
Are you serious?
I'm asking, what are you saying that towards?
You're violating my Fifth Amendment right.
Okay. Yeah.
You took an oath,
Okay.
right?
I'm glad you're familiar with Marcus.
Yeah. Your proof of insurance registration.
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
Pretty sure he's stoned right here. He's pretty much stoned in all of his videos. At least I think he is. He looks especially stoned in this one.
So what crime are you doing?
I already told you that.
It's not a crime. You need to stay a crime.
Yeah,
What
your
is
insurance.
Education?
That's the registration. Only the registration is here.
Oh, it's I'm sorry. It's State Farm.
Do you have a picture of it or something?
Yeah.
Paper of it?
I have.
Oh no. Okay. Something's creating an echo. What is creating an echo? What could be creating an echo? I definitely don't hear it on my end. Let me make sure I'm not logged in somewhere. No, that wouldn't even make sense. Okay. Man, I don't want most of the video to go echo mode. I might have to just restart and finish the rest later. From the oh, okay. Oh, I wonder if my mic was on. That might be it. I just realized we moved into another video.
There's another officer here.
Alright, sir, go ahead and step out for me.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and step out for me.
For what?
Step out,
For what?
because I'm telling you to.
I'm sorry. What crime?
Go ahead and step out for me.
Okay. For what reason?
Because I'm telling you to.
Yeah, I understand. For what lawful reason?
Yep. And I have every legal right to tell you to step out. So go ahead and step out of the car.
Okay. What lawful reason?
Pennsylvania v.
I'm gonna tell you one
Mims.
more time.
Pennsylvania
Step out
versus
of the car.
Mims is the only thing
Okay.
you need to know here, Marcus.
I'm just asking you for what
Step
law.
out of the car.
Can I turn my car off?
No, just leave it the way it is. Step out.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, I figured out the issue. Oh, God. I realized it would have been something. I needed you at the beginning, 80. But that's my fault for not putting up notices when I'm going to go live. I just kind of go when I think I can get away with it.
Step out of the car.
Okay. Is it cool? Alright. For what reason?
Step out.
Okay. For
Because
what?
I'm telling you to.
For what lawful reason?
Because I'm telling you to. That's a lawful reason. Okay.
It's not a lawful reason.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you
We're
one
under
more time
military
before I
occupation.
make you get out of this car.
Okay.
So open the door.
Okay. For what reason?
Because I'm telling you to.
Okay.
There's so much weed in that car, I could smell
Go ahead
it
and unlock the door.
from here.
Okay. For what reason?
Unlock the door.
Okay. For
Because
what
I'm
reason?
asking you out of the car. Unlock the door.
I understand, but for what reason? What lawful reason? I'm just trying to get a record. That's
Because
all.
I'm instructing you to get out of the car.
And what's your name and badge number?
Trooper Castillo, South Carolina Highway Patrol.
Castillo Highway Patrol. Okay. I got you. Nobody's going anywhere, sir.
All right. Open the door. Unlock the door.
Okay.
Go ahead and step out for me.
Okay.
Just walk right here back to my patrol car.
Okay. There's no place.
Right here. Car. Right here in the front.
T. I got you. I see you. T. Lacey. It's T. Lacey. Name and badge numbers,
Just
please.
Right here. Right here.
Name and
Right
badge
there.
numbers, please.
I already told you. Trooper Castillo, South Carolina Highway Patrol, okay?
You?
Deputy Lacey.
Appreciate you.
Stand right there. Stop
Sergeant
walking
Mendocino.
around. Are you gonna
Sergeant
hold
who?
handcuffs?
Mendocino. Right there.
And you?
Listen to his instructions.
Name and badge.
So this is 3 short videos by Marcus. I think we're on number 3, so they're pretty quick. Pretty sure they just ended with him getting arrested again.
Master Trooper Clarkson, badge number 500, South Carolina Highway Patrol. Listen to his instructions. You're going to go in handcuffs.
Doesn't matter.
Do you have anything in that car? I can
You
smell
took
the
an oath,
marijuana.
right?
Okay.
You took an oath. Right?
Okay. Can you stay with
Threat,
me?
duress, and coercion. I don't give you permission to search.
I wonder how many times he said threat, duress, and coercion.
Doesn't matter. You guys have agricultural bill. CBD, Delta 8, if anything. That's cool. So this is an unlawful search.
So Marcus gets pulled over a lot. One of his videos that I have somewhere in my file, and the problem with doing multi-videos per stream is that it's just kind of tough to make a playlist. But he speeds. And he's not like a 5-6 mile and over type of guy. He's like a 10 to 30 mile. He's like a 20-30 mile an hour speeder. So he speeds. He always has some sort of THC in his car. He always gets arrested for it.
The mistake these guys are making is they're under Article 1 and Article 2 courts, which has no judiciary authority. So right now, we're under military occupation, and these guys think that they have a lawful reason, but they took an oath that they're
Occupied
violating
by what military? Our own military?
right now because they don't know the law. But when the solicitor...
And if it was our own military, we're really not. They just stay at their bases.
When we get to court and we express exclusive equity according to trust law, they're going to drop this case like they did with Matthew Aaron and like they did with Deputy Shepard. So I'm not explaining anything to you. I'm explaining things to the camera for a lawful record. So we're going to... It doesn't matter. You're going to care. This is the Deputy Lacey for Beaufort County Sheriff. So
Am I?
you are.
You know my oath?
You
You took the oath?
don't know
I can't really hear him that well. In case you're in the same scenario.
Law. Because you pulled me over.
I didn't pull you over.
But you're here violating your oath.
I'm here because
Doesn't
that's
matter.
that.
Yeah, violating your oath. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This deputy is violating his oath as well. So we're in a military occupation, and these officers think that they're part of Babylonian soldiers. Well, they believe they have power, but they're the only sovereign citizens that actually think that they exist. So they got a hemp and agriculture bill on it. Delta 8 and CBD, and they don't know anything about it. Even their deputies and their chiefs don't know anything about it. So, Delta 8 and CBD.
I'm gonna give it to Lee. Why are you up here?
So there's Marcus. I had to play it just because it's Marcus. Marcus is a sovereign citizen. He's all over. Introduced to me first by Van Bally, and then eventually I found Marcus's channel myself. He's just an idiot. He tries to explain this hemp law. The difference between marijuana and hemp and whatever. I think South Carolina. I think it's South Carolina. How the officers never get it right, but yet he always ends up, from my understanding, he always ends up getting convicted. He's just an idiot. I mean, there's really not much to say about Marcus. But if you find a video of Marcus, you gotta post a video about Marcus. So there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna do one now. Mike posted this earlier. I'm gonna post it because I have to, and I have a little extra information on this one. When I say little, I mean a little tiny bit. But we have a super strange scenario, and we have a soft sit in court, and they're in Simpson's court. It's wonderful because I actually caught it from and I caught it today, and I started recording it, and then I see this notification that said Law Talk with Mike was going live. I'm like, oh man, I know it's this one, but I got a little add-on to it. So I think I've got this queued up in the right place. Let me just hit play. Where's my buttons? There's my buttons.
You don't put that on the front, yes.
This is that one.
Yeah. However, she filed more stuff. Defendant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Court does call the case of BMC Rio LLC versus Nettie Whitlow and Yolanda Whitlow Tice.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Real quick, I think when I was recording this, that I made a volume adjustment. So if you tweak your volume to match theirs, it might get loud all of a sudden, but I can't tell you that with 100% certainty.
State your appearance, please.
All right. Ian Redmond, P70599 on behalf of the plaintiff.
And your name, ma'am?
Doshia Banks occupant.
Pardon?
Doshia Banks occupant.
Doshia Banks occupant, Your Honor.
Okay.
And yeah, he said occupant. That's important.
So you're not Miss Whitlow?
No.
So what is your position in this case as you see it?
If I may, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Ms. Banks claims to be an occupant of the property. She filed a bankruptcy case listing the property as hers. The bankruptcy stay was lifted, which gave rise to our motion to reopen the case. The order lifting stay I would like to present to the court because it has some interesting language in it, Your Honor, which includes, it is further ordered that the bankruptcy court finding this filing of this petition was part of a scheme to delay, hinder, and defraud VMC REO LLC. Additionally, Your Honor, the bankruptcy court ordered, let me see, notwithstanding Rule 4001A3, a bankruptcy rule,
Right.
creditor VMC REO LLC may execute on its order immediately. The
I'm
order shall
sorry. The rest of it has a consistent volume. I'm sorry.
be binding and effective despite any conversion of this bankruptcy case to a case under any other chapter of Title 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code. Further, that the recording with the appropriate governmental entity of this order shall constitute a bar to refiling any case under any chapter of Title 11 of the United States Code as to the property located at 5779 Pinecrest Estates Drive, Ann Arbor, Michigan, the property in this case. A debtor in subsequent case under this title may move from relief from this order based upon a change of circumstances or for good cause shown after notice and hearing. Said bar shall be for 2 years from the entry of this order or until such time creditor relinquishes their rights to the property. This order came out June 24th of this year. I have a copy for you.
Okay. So let's recap. First of all, we have the plaintiff. Then we have the defendant. Now, the defendant that's listed on the, I don't know if it's a foreclosure or if it's a eviction notice. It's probably a little bit of both. Is somebody named Whitlow. The person who showed up is not Whitlow. But then this guy goes on to say that this lady, on behalf of Miss Whitlow, has filed bankruptcy in multiple courts. Now, what happens when you file bankruptcy is that you get an automatic stay from your creditors until, I don't remember if it's until it's resolved or discharged, one of the two, right? Or maybe a bit of both. So you get a stay. But it basically means that your creditors can't send you notices, they can't call you, they can't try to collect until the bankruptcy portion is resolved. So this lady is facing an eviction, and I don't know if she's facing the eviction as a partner with Miss Whitlow or just as a tenant, right? So maybe she's opening Miss Whitlow's mail saying, "Oh man, Miss Whitlow's getting foreclosed, and I live here, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to go to court in her name." And he also mentioned somebody else filed a bankruptcy notice under their name, so it's getting confusing. Did he mention the house is $1 million? I walked away from a second. But if not, I have a picture of the house. I'll show the house here in a minute. Yeah, I did. And discharge and dismiss are two different things. Sorry, let me click on it. When it comes to bankruptcy, discharge is basically means that everything is finalized, and oh man, this is one of the practices of law I know a little bit more about, but have a hard time describing. Dismissal of the bankruptcy basically is basically the case gets shut down, right? Or the bankruptcy gets removed. A discharge is essentially assumes that the conditions of the discharge have been met or completed relative to whatever type of filing you had. Now, for more specific information, go. I'm definitely going to refer back to. I have to say that I am not a lawyer. Please speak to a lawyer. So I probably should have just stopped at the beginning, but I know there's a difference. Yeah, there you go. Okay, play. This gets weirder.
All right. Thank you. I will note, Your Honor, that Ms. Banks has filed an appeal of that order in the federal Eastern District of Michigan. That
So the Eastern District of Michigan, the court that he just mentioned, that said that they not only shot down the bankruptcy claim, but also said that it had elements of fraud. She still files an appeal against it. Okay.
that appeal is pending, but the status quo as of right now is that there is no stay, and that order
Right, so she
lifting
probably filed the appeal because you're like, well, I still live here, and you didn't give me my stay with my filing of bankruptcy, so maybe the appeal will do it. Nope, didn't do it.
holds until such time as the appellate court does something. Additionally, Your Honor. Yes, go ahead. Additionally, Your Honor, there is no stay from the appellate court. They have not issued a stay, and in fact, it would be appropriate that there would be a bond placed or an escrow order of some sort, because BMC has been the owner of this property for the past year and does not have access to it. Additionally, Your Honor, there's more. Go ahead. There's a lot going on. Yeah. Additionally, Your Honor,
I just realized I might get a little ahead of myself with my explanation relative to the fraudulent findings, but this is what the house looks like. Yeah. I love that Simpson just, exactly what he's thinking by his mannerisms, his reactions. It's wonderful. But this is the house. This is a big, beautiful house. It's I think it's listed at, it says right there, $1.065 million. In Denver, where I used to live, that would probably be $3 million. The city I live in now would probably be almost $3 million, like 2.9, 2.8. Six bed, 7 bath, 7,700 square feet. You know what? I changed my mind. Denver would be like 4. Where I live now would be like 3.2. Cheyenne, Wyoming, it would probably be $800,000. Houston, Texas would probably be $700,000. But that's a big, beautiful house. Where's my play button? There it is.
Ms. Whitlow, who, as far as I know, actually exists, but I don't have any evidence to that effect, has not appeared in any hearings in this court, did not appear for her deposition that she was noticed for in the federal case, and in a federal case, the federal court issued a show cause order to Ms. Whitlow that she had to present certain documents from this court, which she failed to do. Her deadline to do so was, I believe, July 3rd. Let me confirm that. Oh no, July 10th. And she did not supply any of those documents. I can present that show cause order if you would like.
I don't know that I need that because I'm not.
The reason that I mention all of this, Your Honor,
Go ahead.
is that this is $1 million house in Ann Arbor that Ms. Whitlow purchased with a mortgage and less than a year later defaulted. The foreclosure went through, the sale occurred, the redemption period expired, and we came forward to evict. Since then, there have been multiple bankruptcies. Ms. Whitlow filed 2 different bankruptcy cases. A young man who apparently lives in Arizona filed a bankruptcy case and listed this property as his residence. Ms. Banks has filed a bankruptcy case and listed the property as her residence. It should also be noted that Ms. Banks was a bankruptcy preparer and has been forbidden from the bankruptcy court from preparing bankruptcies for anyone other than herself.
I didn't catch that the first time I watched that. So she worked in the bankruptcy business. She prepared bankruptcies for other people. All of a sudden, this house has got bankruptcies, federal, district, circuit. Okay, let's just put it on whoever's name and see which one sticks. That's pretty much seems to be what's happening here.
The order lifting the automatic stay talks about that scheme of fraud. I list all of these things to show that the scheme continues. And that's why we would like to reopen this case, because there is no stay in place. We would like to move forward with an immediate eviction, at most an 11-day vacate. And if for some reason that would not be amenable to the court, we would ask for an escrow order or a bond. On $1 million property, I think it would be reasonable that $10,000 a month rent would be reasonable.
Right. Thank you. Ma'am,
Yes, Your Honor.
what do you want to tell the court?
Well, just for 60 seconds, and then I wrote something up because I am nervous, quite nervous. But I, Doshia Banks, is respectfully appear specially and conditionally for the sole purpose of protecting federally vested occupancy rights and opposing unlawful state action. I expressly do not consent to this court's jurisdiction and do not.
Well, then you are not a named party. So if you're not consenting to this court's jurisdiction, sit down.
Oh,
You can
Sit down or get out. You're not a named party. The Ms. Whitlow or Ms. Whitlock or whoever, that's who they're suing. That's who they're evicting. They're not evicting you, Ms. Banks. So if you don't consent to the jurisdiction, neither does Judge Simpson. He's totally fine with your objection. You can just go. Just go. We'll move along without you.
go because you're not a named party.
I have a lease.
You are not a named party on this. You may have a lease with someone else, and then you can go challenge it. With who?
With Whitlow. Ms. Whitlow.
Then you need to go against Miss Whitlow.
Pardon me?
Then you may need to go against Miss Whitlow. But if you're not consenting to the jurisdiction of this court, you might as well just sit down. You are not a named party. I do not have to hear from you.
Oh, I see. So I need to.
I don't know what you need to do, but.
Well, let me.
But you can't do it here.
To what? You're not consenting to the jurisdiction of this court. Why am I hearing from you?
I'm recanting.
You're recanting what?
What I just stated.
Which part?
The part that I stated that I'm not. Oh, I lost my spot. Not consenting to this court.
Isn't it bad when you write up a script that's really solely based on that one main argument of jurisdiction, and then you realize that everything you say after that counters anything after that is just not going to benefit you if you don't have your way in the original proposal, but then the judge shoots you down saying, well, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just go ahead and go. How many hours did she spend writing her script just to get it shot down within the first 2 sentences?
So I'm going to recant that.
So you are consenting to this court's jurisdiction?
At this moment.
Well, no, it doesn't work that way. You don't get to say, well, now it's okay, and then not later say no.
Okay.
You know what? here's the problem. You've not filed anything with this court.
No.
So I don't know why, on those grounds, why I'm hearing from you.
Okay. If I may, I do have time, I do believe, to go file an answer and counterclaim. I was just led under
An
false
answer and
pretenses
counterclaim to what?
to their complaint for eviction.
She's thinking out loud here. She's basically saying, I'm going to go file an answer and a counterclaim as Miss Whitlow. Now, Simpson's like, well, you can go file an answer and a counterclaim as Miss Banks, but again, you are not a named party in this hearing, so there's nothing to file an answer or counterclaim to. She's just basically thinking out loud of the more frauds that she's going to commit.
You have a lease with, allegedly, with Miss Whitlow.
Correct.
Then that is who you need to pursue it against.
Okay.
Or whatever the heck you're doing.
Well,
Because you don't have, there is no privity of contract to the extent there would be, or relationship as between the plaintiff in this case and you.
okay, I'm not really understanding, but
Well, let me put it a little bit more simply. If I grant the relief of the plaintiff in this case and grant an order of a judgment and an order of eviction in
Okay.
10 days,
okay,
any claim of your interest in that property, you have to go after the Whitlows because that's the only person you have a contract with. Allegedly have a contract with.
okay. No, there is an actual contract.
I don't know that, ma'am.
We've actually been.
I don't know that.
Okay. I know you don't know that 'cause it's not before you.
Correct.
I see. I see. So basically, the notice of removal that the Whitlows did,
They are not here.
That's tough. The second time I watched it, that's kind of my thought process too. Either that or she's buried somewhere in the yard. She hasn't shown up. She hasn't made any appearance on any of these cases. Either something happened to Miss Whitlow or there's a false. I'm guessing there was probably some sort of false identity used to acquire this property. I think it was mentioned before that since it was acquired, there haven't been payments made, or maybe it was like a year later. I don't remember. There was a really, really similar case that Law Talk with Mike did, except for it was a landlord tenant case, but it was strangely similar where there's probably a lot of fraud. But yeah, I got a feeling that Miss Whitlow doesn't exist. That's my strong gut feeling.
I don't know.
Or she no longer exists.
I have documents that are not, that they filed with this court that are not signed. So I don't have to accept them. She has not appeared before this court, or they have not appeared before this court. And so, as far as I'm concerned, any relief they're requesting, I can, and as of right, ought deny, and it should be denied also on the merits of whatever their motion is. but I can deny it because they're not here.
Okay. Again, stating to me, I want to make sure I'm clear that my issue is with the Whitlows, not with VMC.
Ma'am, I am not giving you legal advice.
No, I
You're
don't-
telling me that you have a contract. I do not know that you have a contract, but if you wish to enforce that contract, that's who you're going to have the issue with. You're not going to have the issue with the plaintiff in this case because they have right to own the property.
I don't know where Mr. Allen is.
Okay.
She's so stuck. She's so stuck. She's at the point where the game is over and she's stuck. She can't be Mrs. Whitlow anymore. She can't file stays anymore. They're on to her. They know that she's in a cycle of current or potential fraud. Well, factually, it's fraud, but I don't think she's fully accepted that they're on to her for fraud. I mean, she is. If she pushes this any further, they're looking at prosecution. I'm guessing. I know that that plaintiff is looking to file charges, criminal charges. They want this to be done though, and if she doesn't back down, it's probably going to happen. Which means I'm gonna have to watch Simpson every day until I find another follow up case. But then again, who knows what case it's gonna, which court it's gonna go to.
All right, Your Honor, I will speak with the Whitlows that I have finally got an understanding of everything. And I will speak with plaintiff's attorney as well and continue to communicate with Remax, who has came by the house several times.
All right.
So why would you communicate with Remax? You're not the Whitlows. You're not gonna sell the house. You're not. You know, you're giving too much away here. There, somebody needs to investigate the Whitlows, and Ms. Banks here.
Based upon the representation of counsel, I'm going to grant their motion to reopen this case. I'm going to issue a judgment in the plaintiff's favor for possession with a writ to issue 10 days of my signing. Should the matter be appealed, also contained in that judgment in order, the appeal bond I would set at this time at a rental rate or a rate, and I have looked at the property which is involved in this matter, and it is a significant property. I don't think the $10,000 a month quite does it based upon my calculations. So any appeal bond would be set in the amount of $15,000 per month that would need to be paid to maintain the appeal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I will prepare that and present it to you this morning.
Thank you.
May I say something? Our lease payments was not that high at all.
Which is why the mortgage is defaulting, and you're over a year behind, I think, or more. Oh man. so the plaintiff gets a big win here, right? They basically say that here's my judgment. If there is an appeal, you're gonna have to pay appeal bond of $15,000 per month. Basically, Miss Banks, that's your new rent, and she's gonna move out. She has no moves to make here. She's got to move out. I don't think she. I think she's probably stubborn, and I think she's gonna probably try some soft sit. I mean, they haven't done the like purchased land title deed thing, soft sit thing. I'm sure she's gonna try that one out, but they're gonna come and swoop up the house. They don't. If she appeals and she doesn't put that $15,000 a month per month in escrow.
I'm not sure what her mortgage payments were. That was not our amount we paid.
Then I'll tell you what. If the Whitlows wish to come and object to my order of $15,000 as an appropriate bond, they may do so. I do not believe that you have standing to object to the court's order.
Yeah, and she's had years to move, right? And she's got other frauds to make. But that's the other thing. She's not the one that has to pay the $15,000. It's the Whitlows. Whoever, wherever they may be, if they ever existed in the first place. Um, but let's say the Whitlows do exist, and they find a way to stay stay this by paying the $15,000 a month on appeal. And she's complaining that she has a lease with them that's not that much money. Well, she could still pay per the terms of her lease. But clearly, she's shown her cards saying she's basically telling us all that the Whitlows don't exist. I am the Whitlows is what she's basically representing here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I know, you didn't write
And
any.
we'll await. I did.
Oh,
No.
no, I don't think so. I don't know if Mr. Fink is ready on.
Mr. Fink, are you ready? But hold on.
That is absolutely insane. That is so crazy. Let's look at this thing. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right. All right, so this is the house. I think I can make it even bigger. Just gonna try to no, that makes it smaller. This is a gorgeous house. I don't know when the picture was taken. It's well maintained. It's gorgeous, right? It's in Ann Arbor. I don't know what the cost of living of Ann Arbor is compared to a lot of places, but I know it's a big and popular city, and I'm assuming there's a diminishing marginal demand of houses at this price point. This is a gorgeous house. So I think it was like almost 8,000 square feet. It would take them, yeah, quite a while to move out, but they should be going to prison. So there's that trade off. I mean, you've got a 7,000 square foot house, and if you actually are committing this fraud, which I think you are, I think everybody thinks you are, then you could trade that in by what, like a 5. I don't know how big jail cells are, but let's call them 5x10, just for the sake of argument. She's lucky, or she's not lucky. She's got a chance to get out of this. She needs to move and run because we don't think the Whitlows exist. Anyway, Edie, thanks for hanging out with me. It was this was fun. I would I got to go back and look at the beginning of the stream. I might have to do some editing if I mean obviously whatever ends up on live is going to be on live. I was trying to think if I add anything before the power inherent to people thing, but yeah, I had to go all opposite today. It was worth it. I went down a rabbit hole the other night and I just found just an endless tunnel of just BS, and had to stream it. I still got a ton of body cam videos that I saved from last week that I still need to play. I haven't seen any of the other channels post them, but since they've been sitting in my queue for a week, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing them. Either way, I'll try to avoid the big and arty stuff. Um, Yeah, got the doctor's appointment now, so I got to run. But I do feel better. I had sinus surgery 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, I moved my chat. Where'd it go? I was messing around with everything too much there at the end. Yeah, I had my sinus surgery, and I just started smelling things for the first time in 2 years, but I still have that congestion, so it's clearing up quite a bit. But I feel pretty good. All right, guys. Well, Edie especially, I'll see. Might try to stream. No, I'm not gonna go late night tonight, but I'll definitely be on tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, and don't work too hard. Yeah, I actually do. I think. See, E asked for an email to send videos. I have. Oh, geez, what is it? I made one specifically for grammar school. I'm not gonna. I think I. You know what? I think it's in the description under the PayPal confirmation. Um, no, it's not. Here, let me find it real quick, and then I'll jump off. Oh, it's pretty easy. It's grammarschoolfordummies@gmail.com. I'll put it in here. Right. Grammar School for Dummies. Yeah, I never thought about it, but I'm more than happy to take video submissions. Um, yeah, pretty much anything too. I just realized I'm like, it doesn't even have to be body cam. Like I did, what did I do the other day? Lawn mowing, and I did a soft sit secret recorder. I'm trying to think of the other ones I've done. I did like a couple UFC ones. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to take submissions. So, all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, Edie. Appreciate it. Again, I'm sure I'll see you here in a couple hours on. Well, Big Ink goes on in like 40 minutes. So I'll see you on one of those channels, I'm sure. I appreciate you hanging out with me again. Have a good rest of your day. I think I said that 3 times now. Bye.